Hi, my name is Aminat Lawal. I went to University of Ibadan. I made the first class in University of Ibadan. I went to Nigerian Law School, Lagos campus. So I also made the first class and was the best graduate student, winning the Sir Adetokunbo Ademola Prize for the best student in Nigerian Law School, Dr. Taslim Elias Prize for the best student in the Nigerian Law School, Justice Atonda Fatai Williams Prize for the best student in Nigerian Law School, Honorable Justice Sylvanus Adjua Prize for the Best Graduate Student of the Year, Director General's Prize for First Class Graduates, Chief Richard Akinje's Prize for the Second Best Student in Civil Litigation, Bonme Jackson Lutz Foundation Prize for the Best Female Student of the Year, National Association of Women Judges Prize for the Best Overall Female Student of the Year, NLS Class of 1980 Prize for the Best Overall Student of the Year, Honorable Justice Aloma Muta Prize for the Best Female Student in Civil Litigation, Nigerian Bar Association Prize for the Best Overall Female Student, and the Council of Legal Education Star Prize. How did I mentally prepare for law school? I don't even think I mentally prepared for law school because I had served before I went to law school because I went to a federal uni and there was a lot of backlog and all that. So I had a whole year waiting for law school. So I think my best preparation was forgetting that law school existed. Like I was just doing my own thing, and when law school came, it just came. So I think it was like being out of school experience and forgetting that there was law school. I think that was the best mental preparation for me. How was law school for you? Was it what you expected? Law school was first, I was posted to the campus I did not want. Not saying anything bad about Lagos campus, but it was just not my desired campus. But so that first already threw me to a loop, and then it being what I expected, I think it was like calmer than I expected because you hear a lot of people talk about law school and you think that maybe you're going to pass out or you're going to faint. I mean, there are a lot of mental stress, emotional stress, but I made a lot of good friends. I had a good roommate, so I had my one of my best friends in my campus. So I think that made everything better. What was your preparation process like? Did you have a special reading method? My preparation process for law school was not a preparation process. I I did not start preparing for law school until the like posting and everything came out like maybe like a week before I resumed law school. So there was no preparation process. So I just I don't know, I'm such a believer in like just going and doing something and like to work out eventually. So I didn't really prepare. For my reading method, did I have a special reading method before law school? I did not, but like in law school, obviously you read. I don't know if it's now you want me to go into that, but like I didn't have a special reading method before law school. What was a typical day in law school like for me, and how did I plan my time? So a typical day in law school in Lagos campus is I used to wake up really late. So as I used to say, I wake up the latest time I can to make it to class on time. So I wake up like 7:45 or 7:50 thereabouts. At some point, I started trying to wake up by 7 a.m. to try and read my RPC, but I don't know, sleep is really important to me. So I wake up by 7:45 or 8 a.m. and try like take a bath, do all things, and then go to class. So I go to class and then I'm in class from like 8 to 12. So I used to take like snacks to class so I don't have to come out during break time. So during break time, I'll either read my RPC or try and like ruminate on what I read the previous night and see if I can remember. Or I would read like sometimes I'll just lay my head on the table. I just do not like going out during break. I don't know. It had to be like extreme circumstances for me to go out during break. After then, we'll come back for tasks, finish classes, and then go to eat. So before I used to eat like after class, but then the line was too long, and I used to try and maximize my time as much as possible. So sometimes I'll just go to my room, go upstairs, and I used to like read my class notes immediately after like class just to see what I could grab and what I could get, and then maybe eat. I used to take what my roommate and I call naps. I'll sleep for like 20 minutes, wake up, try and read, and yeah, just read like what I did that day and try and go through what I was going to do the next day just so I'll have a bit of an idea. But reading what I did that day was like the most important to me. I used to also like just to my friends, like go to my friend's room, like if there's no like this was like when exam wasn't really close. call my parents, call my friends. I think like those things are really important in law school. It's not just like about doing one thing. So yeah, and on weekends I used to try and like go somewhere maybe like twice a month, go and see my friend or something. So as long as I read what I wanted to read. Oh yeah, I also used to read my tasks on weekends. So like the task we did that week, I'll go through it, read my drafts. But yeah, that was the typical day in law school for me. And how did I plan my time? I don't know. I don't know if it has a lot of planning because especially the campus I went to, everything is scheduled. So I didn't really have the luxury of planning my own time. I just like the little free time I had, I just tried to make use of it as much as I can. And yeah, did I attend all the classes from the one to the end? Mostly 99%. I had an interview for a job one day during class. I had to miss the class for that, and till today like that topic is still a bit vague in my memory because I was somebody that used to listen a lot in class. So missing class was like very very like I don't know, it really like it sort of really affected me for that topic. And then towards the end, when we started doing like some revision, and I went for one revision class, and I don't know, when they started saying students should teach us, I just missed a few classes, but I honestly I wouldn't advise. I think I missed in all. Okay, yeah, and then one time I was really ill, and this one really stressed me because it was really close to exam. I was super ill, and I had to miss that class. But I don't know. I wouldn't really advise missing classes. I think that law school classes are really important. So yeah, we're in a study group, and would you recommend it? I was not in a study group per se. So I read by myself. I wouldn't say I was in a study group. But when exams were getting closer, like my friends and I, like a group of four and I, we started to do past questions together. But we only did that for like 3 weeks. And we had to like caution ourselves to make sure that we do not start gisting or doing all those things because I feel like that's a big thing that can happen sometimes with like study groups where like it turns into a gisting game. But I know a lot of people that were in study groups and it really worked out for them. Like I know a study group where all of them in the first class. So I mean, if it works for you, I'll definitely recommend it. But for me, I didn't really read in a group in UI, so I do not see the need in reading in a group now. So yeah, did I have friends in law school? And would I recommend making friends there? I had friends in law school. My best friend was in my campus, so I was very grateful for that. Did I make friends in law school? I'm beginning to learn now that I did not really make friends in law school because I work with a couple of people that were on my campus and I did not know who they were. They didn't know where I was as well. And now, like after everything has happened, getting to meet people that knew me and realizing that I did not know them, I don't think I made too many friends. But I think like my roommates, although we went to the same university, we're not friends in university. So I count that as a friend that I made in law school and just a couple of people. I think what I'll say is I was polite to everybody, but I was polite with everybody, but I don't know if I made like lifelong friendships. But I mean, I don't know. I'm not really one that makes friends that easily. So I guess if you're someone that makes friends really easily, why not? Please, I'll recommend all the way. Please go ahead and make friends. Was I in a relationship in law school? So when I started law school, I was in a relationship, but I think so. My sets we had a lot of breaks. When we went home for election break, I just realized that it was not something I could handle. I'm not saying that everybody should like not be in a relationship. I think for me personally, it was just not giving me what I wanted at that time. So I just ended the relationship. Was it all books for you or did you also take time to have fun? It was not all books for me at all. At all. I would like to say I'm quite a social person, but these days I'm beginning to think that I'm not. But yeah, I had a lot of fun in law school. I was in Lagos campus, and Lagos campus is around a lot of things. I went to the beach a lot of times, went out with my friends. I don't know, fun is really important for me. I'm not somebody that can stay in a place and like just not have fun. It's just some work for me. So yeah, I had fun in law school. What advice and tips do I have for preparing for the bar finals? Oh, so many. I think one of them is learning how to answer questions. I think that's the most important thing because, like, in law school, right, it's not just about knowing what you're like writing or something like that. Because I think I'll say that so many people are smart, so many people read well, but I think that paying attention to the particular way like every course wants their questions to be answered. It's very, very important. And I'm not going to start like saying it now because I want you to actually pay attention to your lecturers. What do they tell you that they want? How do they tell you that they want you to answer their questions? So paying attention to that. I also think like because a lot of us maybe we came from universities where cases are really important, sections are really important, and we tend to focus on that. Not in law school. I think like focus on your principles first. Like I always said, cases and sections will come after. I remember like stressing myself like 2 weeks before exam because I do not know a lot of cases and sections, and then I'm trying to remember the exams that I wrote, and I don't even think I used half of the cases that I wrote down. So yeah. Another advice I'll give is take care of your mental health. I know that people focus on the book a lot, but honestly, I think that mental health is a very important thing that you should watch out for in law school because you don't want to read for an exam that you're not even able to write because the tension can get a lot. So I think that doing all those things, staying with your community and all those things, it would help you pretty much in the preparation for law school. How did I feel when I checked my result and saw first class? Or like, was I expecting it? I don't even know how long Tolulope has because if I were to go into the story, honestly, we would not live here today. But the short story is just that I was very excited. In fact, I could not believe it. I checked my results in, so I think backstory. So my exams, I made a lot of mistakes in my exams. And I know it's funny, or BGS, they're always saying things like this, but honestly, I made mistakes that I should not have made. It wasn't mistakes of things that I did not read. It was mistakes of like things just flying over my head, having too much tension, maybe not focusing on a particular thing. So, and there's this thing in life, I guess, where even if 99% of things go right, the 1% is the 1% that went wrong is the thing that you continue to remember. I made so, like, I remember calling my mom after all my exams and crying, and she still says it to this day that I wanted to give her hypertension because I was always crying. But yeah, I made a lot of mistakes in law school. But I think that getting into that and then like leading up to my results coming out, knowing that all I wanted was the first class and that's all I worked hard for, and thinking that that might not happen, that was really, really stressing me. And also adding to the part that I had gotten a job at that time, but my job was a conditional offer. So it was conditional on me making a certain grade from law school that so like there was just a lot riding up on it. And then the day results came out, for some reason, I don't know why, I turned off my phone that day. I never turned off my phone. I turned off my phone that day and came online to see the result had come out, and it was so funny. I don't know if you know this, but I said we like had the most first classes in law school. And I remember going on social media and seeing everybody right make a first class, and my Nigerian mentality was like, oh my god, they finish sharing all the first classes. I was like, oh my god, there's no way. Like leading up to this, like our results came out so late. So leading up to this, all the tension, all the dreams, everything. So I remember the portal wasn't opening. I'm told Lokwe would probably know this story because that's the Nigerian way. Our portal wasn't opening and I was trying to open and open and open, and finally it opened and I saw first class. And I remember I called my sister immediately and I was like, I'm blind. I just screenshotted it. I was like, is this first class or third class? I didn't even know how to write third class. I was just like, it's obviously not second class because second class would be longer. It would be second class upper or second class lower. So is either a first or a third. So I think that with all this, my story, the answer, the second part of the question that asked that, was I expecting it, is obviously clear that I was not expecting it. Like in any way, shape, or form. I was very, very happy. Like the first class was enough for me. That's what I tell everybody. I'm like, that first class was a miracle. Like that one was enough for me because just thinking about my exams went, I was shocked and very, very happy. So yeah, I was not expecting it at all. But I'm very happy. When and how did you find out you're the overall best president? How did you feel? This story again is very funny. My friend started a rumor. She was joking. My best friend started a rumor that I was the best contestant, but she was joking. Like she did not know. We did not know. When people started to tell me that, oh, I'm the best contestant, I assumed that it was the rumor from my friend, and I was telling her that, oh, stop it, blah blah blah. She even made a flyer. Like she was joking. Literally, she was just joking. So I guess they were supposed to tell me during my clearance, but the man told me that he was busy because I saw him on call day. So I found out on the day of call, not on my call day though, because my call day was the last day, but I found out on the first call day. My seat partner in law school, I guess that's the friend I made in law school. back to that question. But my sleep partner in law school, she sent me a message and said, "Oh my God, you're the BGS." And I was like, I genuinely thought it was the room as well, and I was like, oh, so like Shubomi is just joking. That's my friend's name. I was like, oh, she's just kidding, like, and don't like take it seriously. And then she sent me a screenshot. I don't even know how I felt. Like, I couldn't believe it. I called my friends. I went to tell my parents immediately. They were so happy. Like, I was so shocked because it was not something. I'm not the person that went to law school to be BGS. In fact, it was not on my plan. I don't think I'd ever mentioned it to anybody before. So it was so surprising. Like, till now, it's still so surprising. But yeah, that was how I felt. That was how I found out. And like the next 3 days since that time, everything has just been crazy. I think every day I'm still finding out. Some days I just lay down and I think, oh my God, like that actually happened. 5,000 people wrote an exam and I was the best guy to students. That's like so crazy. But yeah, that's how I found out. What were your best and worst moments or experiences in law school? So my best moments in law school was anytime I was with my friends. My best friend and I, we used to go out a lot in law school. So anytime we went out, there was a day we went to the beach and we just spent like the entire day there. That was a very good experience I had in law school. Another one was like finishing my exams. I'm seeing the euphoria in everybody's like I think it was the relief. Like seeing that like that level of relief in everybody's face was amazing. My worst moment in law school was I think like okay, so I felt really ill before exams, like 2 weeks before exams, I had malaria and typhoid, and I wasn't able to read for like 3 or 4 days. And like, I know that seems short, but when exams are that close, that's not a great experience. So that was a very bad experience for me. And I think I'm trying to think now. I'm thinking that I have more best and worst moments, but it's just been like 6 months since I finished in law school and I've forgotten. But those are the things that come top of my mind. Do I think law school is overrated? I mean, in what way? I don't like to. I feel like in life, when you pass an experience, it feels like the hurdles that you pass through, they feel smaller to you because you have more hurdles. Like you have bigger hurdles now, or bigger problems. So those problems feel less. But I don't like to do that thing because there are also people that are going through that. So you leave uni and then you hear someone complaining about family law and you're like, family law is easy. But when you were in that year, was it easy? It wasn't. So if I should say law school is overrated, now it would be because I've passed law school. Because honestly, some days at work I catch myself saying, and I thought law school was stressful because like work is so stressful right now. But I try to remember the state I was when I was in law school and how I thought it was my whole life. I mean, so I wouldn't say law school is overrated. People have spent 5 years or even more if you went to a federal school. I spent 7 years talking about my story. I spent up to 10 years trying to get journey to get to law school. Going to a public school, having to not being of age and having to defer my admission, so many strikes. And so when you eventually get to the stage where you get to do, even though like even if the person doesn't end up practicing law, I mean you're a lawyer for the rest of your life. Nobody can take that from you. So I don't know. I would not say law school is overrated. I would just say that I think that if someone comes to meet you and tells you that they are having like struggles because they are stressing out over law school, the worst thing you can tell them is, oh, don't worry about it. Law school is just overrated. Because I mean, if you think about when you're in law school as well, I'm sure you were probably stressed. Like even when I talked to my colleagues that had spent like that at 10 years was called. I mean, it's like they went to law school 10 years ago. Our experiences are still so similar. It was still as stressful as it was for me, for them. So, yeah, I wouldn't say law school is overrated. What role in my support system, family, friends, mentors play in my success? My family played the biggest role in my success. I'm very close to my family, very close to my siblings and to my mom and my dad. And I spoke to them a lot, told them every time anything was stressing me in law school, I think I was always calling them, always speaking to them. My sister likes to say that she is also a lawyer, that she got called with me because of how much I stressed her so much in law school, and also like the financial impacts because you cannot downplay how expensive law school is. Did I watch Young VIP TV when I was in law school? If so, how did it impact or inspire me? I did not. I wish there was something like this. When Tolu Lokwe first reached out to me, and I can't lie, I almost like wanted to say no because I was done with like a lot of the interviews, and I don't mean to say this in a proud way or in a good way. It's just been a long time. Like it's been a long time I've been in law school, so I can barely remember a lot of things. I don't know if it's like memory loss. So I've done so many webinars that I'm so tired of saying the experience, and I did this questionnaire thing just so I didn't have to keep saying it all over again. Not because it was stressing me, like at all. You can always reach out to me personally. I just don't know if I'm of help anymore, if I'm giving people useful advice. So I almost wanted to say no, but I checked first. I really liked the message. And I watched, in fact, I think it was Naomi Ekop. And I went to I went to follow her on LinkedIn immediately after because I was like, oh, this is nice. Like, you can always, like, questions. I finished watching the video. I think I started watching it like the night before and I finished it on my way to work. So, yeah, it was actually a very lovely video. And after I was like, oh yeah, this is something that I like to do. It was quite nice, and just to see, like, I don't know, me, I like to see where people are now. So just to see someone from like 5 years ago doing really well, being the PGS. And the funny thing is that law school is so, I don't know if it's a problem because law school is so similar that her video from I don't know how many years ago was still like I could relate. I mean, I didn't go to the same campus she went to, but I could relate, and I was like, oh, law school has never changed. So yeah, I'm glad that there's something like this and people have the access to this kind of videos. So yeah. Is there any additional thing I'd like to say? Oh no, not at all. I think that I think that I said it all. I think, oh yeah, sorry, one thing. I mentioned it in the beginning, but just like focusing on your mental health, please. I think that is really important. You hear stories about people passing out in law school or people making a first class in uni and coming to law school and making a pass, and people are laughing when they're telling stories, and it's not funny. It's just like law school is really hard. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for now. Thank you so much for having me.